Hello, so what I'd like to provide you here is a short explanation on how I graded your assembly models. Bottom line is I'm trying to judge, without being arbitrary about it, I'm trying to judge the amount of effort you put into your models. So the models consist, in an assembly, consists of parts, parts consist of features, features are based on sketches. So what I'm trying to do, at least for this assignment, is count the parts, the features, and the sketches, give them a certain weighting, and then give a total score on that. So we're looking at 30 points total here. And if we start at the very bottom where we were looking at sketches, we're looking at 24 for the average. But what I did, I gave you a little bit of a benefit there. I'm looking for your most complicated sketch, and I counted the elements in that. And then I'm also looking for about 6 features per sketch. So that's about the average for both of those. So if you exceeded the average on that, you did pretty well. And I'm just looking at one element in here. So when I'm looking at the parts, when I'm looking at a specific part, I will count up not only the sketches in that part, but the features too. So here's a short explanation. And one of the students in class is going to recognize this, but this is a part in his assembly. And it consists over here, I can zoom in on that, 4 different features. And within these features, we have our sketch elements. So what I'm doing is I'm counting up whatever reference geometry we have in here, and there is none in here, but we do have some sketch relations, which I do count these two, and I count the pairs of those. So you have an equal relation, I consider that a pair. If you have a symmetric relation, that usually comes in 3. So I usually just count one of those. And then I count the dimensions. So with the dimensions, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimensions. With the sketch relations, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that total, and let me count that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually 4 dimensions and 10 sketch relations. That amounts to 14. So that 14 is reflected here on our sheet. So we have, with the linkage that we just saw, we have 14 sketch relations, sketch elements in there, as defined in the evaluation criteria. And then we have 4 features, which adds up to 28. So I take your 3 highest scoring parts, and I consider those. So this one is 24, 48, and 28. I consider those over here. And then I divide the rest of them. I take in consideration that you might have more parts. If you're short on sketches, short on features, but you have a lot of parts, I definitely take that in consideration. So what I do is I take your the other parts that are in here, and I give you half points for those. So for instance, 21 divided by 2 is going to be 11, I round up. 15 divided by 2 is going to be 8, again I round it up here too, and 19 divided by 2 is going to be 10. Round it up there, and then I add up all those. Your full score for the 3 parts, half score for 3 additional parts beyond that, brings a score of 128. Divide that by 3, so we can get close to that 30-point value that we have for this assignment. And then I'm giving a 36-point max, so I'm giving you about 20% higher than that. So this person scored 43, so I rounded down to 36. 36 is the maximum of that. And then I go up to this portion up here. So if you're missing some elements up here, and you got to let me know if I missed some of these, if you actually had these in here. I'm looking at the whole wizard up here in your base. This way we can mount your base to the wall or to a floor or something like that. I'm also looking for a couple of other elements too. A whole wizard in a part other than the base, a linear or circular pattern, I'm looking for that. And I'm also looking for a slot sketch entity in your part somewhere. And if you got those, then then you don't get any additional points off. But if you're missing some of these elements, like this student did, he has 4 points off for that. So I take from the 36 minus 4, brings a total of 32. And that would be the score you would get in your assignment. So I'm going to be grading the final in a very similar way. It's a matter of being able to judge the amount of effort you put into your work. With the final, though, there's going to be some additional elements in there. We're going to be taking points off for things aren't fully defined, or you have some errors in your part. But try to make it as simple as I could in this thing, and I hope that helps explain things. So we will see you in class pretty soon.